Hi everyone. Well, my name is Colleen and this is my second podcast. I was originally a paper crafter only on Two Tiny Treasures, here also on YouTube. So those of my subscribers who have jumped over from that channel to this one, thank you so much. I really appreciate it and I look forward to learning how to knit from your tips of those of you who are already knitters and on this steep learning curve. I am a beginner knitter. I've only learned to knit just in the last week, to be completely honest. But I've been doing crochet for a couple of years now. So with that said, there's some basic things that I learned this week that I thought I would share. And then I also wanted to share with you what my future plans are so that I can get more suggestions and recommendations for all of you who are a lot more skilled at this than I am. So right now I live in the Dallas area in Texas, but that is going to be changing. More than likely we are moving out of the country in about 5 or 6 months. And in that process, there's a lot that I have to prepare for because shipping is so expensive to ship items to another country. So I'll get to more of that in a minute. So first I'll show what I have worked on this week because I'm quite thrilled with my progress. So as of this week, I can definitely say that I learned the knit stitch. So this is the, I guess you would call it the garter stitch. It's where you just knit back and forth and back and forth. I just used some peaches and cream yarn that I found at Walmart and just pulled out some needles and started working the knit stitch continental style. So I was so thrilled. I do have several mistakes in it and it's not completely even. I didn't block it or anything like that, but I'm quite thrilled that I at least learned how to quickly do the knit stitch. So that one is done. Now this one I barely have anything. It's, I guess you call it the stockinette stitch. It's where you do knitting one direction and then purling the other direction. And that's what makes your knit fabrics stretchy. So on this side you can see the knit stitch, and then on this side you see the purls. So I was quite happy that this week I have learned how to knit and how to purl. So I'm guessing knitting two together shouldn't be too difficult now that I've finally learned how to do a knit stitch and a purl stitch. So that is quite the accomplishment for this week. And for those of you who have come over here from my scrapbooking channel in order to learn how to knit, I'll be posting some videos as I go because, you know, sometimes when you've been doing something for a long time, I know with scrapbooking, some of the stuff just comes second nature to me and I don't even think about it anymore. But people may ask, you know, how I use a certain tool or what a certain method is. And, you know, honestly, I'd been doing it for so long, I forgot about it. So what I'm going to do is, like, as I learn things like the long tail cast on, I'll do a video for that. One of the next things I want to learn how to do is like how to do a magic loop, how to do the socks or a hat on what they call the magic loop method with the interchangeable knitting needles. But some of the basics, how to do a knit stitch, how to do a purl stitch, and there's tons of videos right here already on YouTube, so you know you can watch any of those as well. So I hope you enjoy those. Those will be coming soon, but I needed to get them down myself before I even try to remotely post a video about those things here. So the reason why, like I explained, that I'm on this extreme knitting learning curve is because where we're going, they have two things for sure. They have alpacas and they have sheep. So I know I can get alpaca wool and I know I can get sheep's wool. But what I don't know yet is how many yarn shops are, how close a yarn shop will be to where I'm living versus where I'm not. So I am literally learning everything from the ground up, and that includes spinning. So I'll show you some acquisitions that I've gotten over the past couple of weeks with that goal in mind. Okay, so specifically with the goal of learning how to spin yarn from straight off the sheep. Of course, there's a whole other portion that I have to learn, but I know for a fact that they do already have a process where the locals do actually make alpaca and sheep's wool into roving. So I know I can get it at least in this form here. Most of them are not dyed. It would be an all natural fiber. So they would be in different colors depending on the color of the alpaca, white or gray, the silver gray or the browns, and they also have black alpacas. So I know I can get roving for sure. So there's a weaving and spinning store here in the Dallas area. It's actually near White Rock Lake, which is near the Dallas Arboretum. Beautiful area, awesome shops. It's, you know, where a lot of the high roller district lives here in Dallas, and it's just beautiful. So they have a lot of unique shops, and one of them is this elderly lady. She owns a weaving and spinning store. She's the only one in that area. And so what I purchased from her, and classes I'll be taking from her starting next Friday, are spinning classes. So she's going to teach me on a drop spindle first how to take this and make yarn out of this. So she teaches how to make it very thin, or you know, whatever gauge, and how to measure that. She's going to teach me start to finish over the next 5 months on how to go from this to a spinning wheel. So that I'm really excited about. So you'll be seeing a lot of that on this channel, is what I'm learning while I'm spinning, because that's going to be a steep learning curve. Yes, when you go to a third world country, you got to figure out what you can do with the supplies you can get. Like I said before, I'm a big scrapbooker, but shipping is so expensive to get anything there. So I am taking like my Silhouette Cameo with me for those of you who are in the paper craft world. I am taking some scrapbook paper and embellishments and some basic things with me so I can continue Project Life. Those videos won't quit. They will continue on my Two Tiny Treasures channel, because this is such a huge move for our family, and I definitely want to capture all those moments for my kids, of moving abroad, learning another language, and all of that stuff for them. So we'll be doing that for sure, but I can't constantly ship the newest products to ourselves. It may be 5 or 6 months. We have to come back to the States in 5 or 6 months after that to take care of some things. So we'll be going back and forth a little bit over the first couple years, and it won't be until those trips back home that I can really pick up stuff. So I have to figure out how to do crafting from the ground up. So this is definitely going to be an exciting learning curve for me, and I'm looking forward to doing that with the fiber arts. So I'm starting with spinning, but then after you have the yarns and everything, which I know I can get yarn there, that's not a problem. It's just I don't know what kind of quality and what a selection they have. So after that, obviously I need the tools to be able to do knitting. So even though I'm just a beginner and I only learned how to knit and I only learned how to purl, I have all these knitting supplies already. But I'm trying to think about what I need now before I go there, because I can't afford to ship all of that stuff to myself. To give you an example, they have what's called a VAT tax. So anything that is shipped is automatically charged a 14% VAT tax. So say I do like $100 from Joann's or $100 from Michael's, then automatically, without counting shipping, I already have to pay $14 just to get it into the country. Then on top of that, shipping about 8 pounds. That's the recommended amount before the rates really skyrocket. A box that's less than 8 pounds costs $80 to ship. So I'm already looking at almost $100 per package just to get it to the country. So, you know, if I break a knitting needle and need one needle, it makes absolutely no sense to pay $100 to get that into the country. So that's why I'm having to think ahead and plan. So I hope you guys will help me as well. If you see things that you think I'd be needing in the future with what I'm wanting to do, then please comment below. Let me know what I shouldn't forget to take with me as far as knitting supplies, so that I can make sure to put that on my checklist. So let me show you what I have so far. So I don't know if I showed this on my last video here. I may have shown, I don't remember. So I have these Knitter's Pride carbons. This is the midi set. So this is size 7, 8, 9, and 10, and it comes with 2 cables, which is a 24-inch and a 32-inch. So I know that gives me a good range. I have some bamboo, you'll see that in this stack, but I'm trying to get needles that hopefully I won't break, or I won't break too often. That way I don't have to turn around and replace them right off the bat. So from what I understand is these grip the more slick yarns, like silks, pretty easily. So that's why I went ahead and got this set. I only got the smaller set in this because I actually got a full set in the Chalgoose. So in the Chalgoose, this is the size 7. This is what I've actually been working on with that knit and purl that I learned this week. This is the size 7, and I want to say that this is like the 20-inch cable or something like that. So I have a multitude of, I bought doubles of most of their cable sizes from Chalgoo. So I got the complete set, which goes from size 2 up through size 15 in the Chalgoo interchangeables. And then I put all the extra cords in this pocket up here. So let me see those sizes, 22, 30, 14, and I have 2 or 3 sets of the 14, 22, and 30. Now with the Chalgoos, also what I have to remember is the small sets and the large sets, because the larger the needle, then I have to use a large cable instead of a small cable. So I have all of those, and those are called the twist. This is the lace, the Chalgoo lace set. So these tips are actually 5 inches. And if I had done better research ahead of time, I would have gotten the 4-inch. The reason why I say that is because I've just noticed that the hat circulars that I'm wanting to do, say if I want to do a hat, then the circular needle needs to be like 16 inches. Well, I can't do that with 5-inch tips. I would need a cord that is only 6 inches long, but then you can't hardly knit anything that way. So Chalgoo actually makes a 4-inch set, and with that you can get an 8-inch, you can get an 8-inch cord. So the 8-inch cord with the 4-inch tips, that gives you the 16-inch. So what I might do is, since so many people are talking about the Addi Rockets that they like so much, or Addi Turbos, I think it's the Addi Rockets. I think I might just buy circulars like this size here, and get them, the fixed ones, the ones that have the cord that are just 16-inch. Let me know what y'all think about that. Let me know what you're using for your hats. I do have DPNs. I'm talking about for the circulars, the 16-inch circulars. What do y'all recommend? Should I buy the 4-inch tips that go with these Chalgoo cables that I have, and get the shorter 8-inch Chalgoo cable? Or do you think I should go ahead and just get the fixed circulars by Addi's? So that's what I'm contemplating with that. So as far as interchangeables and cables to do anything from scarves to socks to sweaters to blankets, I have everything I need with that one interchangeable set right there, as well as the Knitter's Pride one. So before I even got that one, I found this one on special, and this is again by Chalgoo as well, but this is their bamboo set. Now this one I did not get the full, instead I got the small, so it goes from sizes 2 through 8, which from what I'm reading is what most knitters work with. Now I did also happen to stumble across some chunky 9-inch circulars that I could use for socks or baby hats, things like that. So I forget the sizes on these, but I have a needle gauge. So I went ahead and just stuck those in here since I got those practically free. So I get really good deals on these needles and these needle kits on a website called blitsy.com, and I'll post that link below. These sets you can rarely find on sale. I mean, you can find them on Amazon, you can find them on Jimmy Bean's Wool, and other, yarn websites and things like that, but rarely can you find a discount on them. Well, on blitsy.com, you can use the big box store coupons. So these are products at Joann's or Michael's or Hobby Lobby. These are specialty yarn knitting things, and you can use a Michael's 50% off or 40% off coupon. They put those codes on Blitzy's page. Just type in a search on Blitsy coupon. If it's, for example, right now it's June 2016, and you'll get a whole list of 40% off coupons that you can use. So if this is the only thing in your shopping cart, you can get 40% off of the retail price and get it shipped to yourself. So that's how I got all of these knitting needles. Also, if you refer a friend, then you can get a $10 credit if your friend purchases something as well, and you can get products for free. So check them out. I'll post the link below. It's how I've gotten every single one of these sets. Now, the other thing is I know eventually I want to get into socks. So they had this cute sock set up one day as well. So I got that one, and this goes from sizes, I think it's 0 to 3. And there's sets of 5. So there's 5 DPNs per set. But they also featured the little sock 9-inch circulars. So I have a 1, a 2, and I think a 2.5 in the 9-inch circulars. So since I'm using these for socks, I put them in the sock kit. Now, some of the reviews that I had read on these is they're great as far as they're sturdy and don't break, but I've also heard that they're pretty slick and slippery. And when you're working with so many on a sock or a beanie, it might be a little bit too slippery for a beginner like myself. So I am also ordering these in a sock set in the carbons. That way it's something that won't necessarily break on me too easily, like if I got bamboo. I'm afraid to get bamboo DPNs for socks because I just feel like I know already that I knit tight, and I'm just afraid I'm going to be breaking needles, and I will have no way to be able to replace those anytime soon once they break. So I went with metal on these as well, and I have the carbons on their way. So I'll show those whenever they come in. Let me see. Just a few miscellaneous cute things that I got. This is a little notions box that I've had. I've actually had this for crochet. So in this one I have like the clover to cut my yarn. I have the yarn threader from Clover, and then I got a lot of these, all different sizes. I have the purple, the green, and the orange for the needle points. But these were super cute that I found on Etsy, and I wanted to show these. So these are double point needle stoppers, and so these are 2 little sheep. I think it's way too small for the camera to really show these, so I will take a picture and post that for you. And if I had the sheep, then I also had to get the goats. So they're really cute, and I'll post pictures of these so you can see them closer up. Now in that lady's shop as well, she had this cute little row counter. So you turn it on with the button right there, and then you can just start counting up. 1, 2, 3. And if it shuts off, say you put your project away and it shuts off, when you turn it back on, it'll start right back up at that row where you left off. And then if you want to reset or you're starting a new project, just hit the little reset button and it goes back to 0. And the nice thing with this is it actually straps onto your finger. Now I have very small fingers, so hopefully it'll work for me too. I haven't really tried it that much yet. Yeah. if I put it down here, it stays on really well. So you can be knitting along and then you just punch the button and then you can keep going. And so my finger is free to go up and down however I like, and it's turquoise. There's a whole bunch of these on eBay. They're actually cheaper on eBay than they were on Etsy, but since I was already paying shipping for these little sheep and goat guys, then I went ahead and purchased this from her shop as well. So that was really fun. So that's it as far as my acquisitions for this week. The top 2 things that I'm happy of with this podcast is that I can say that I have learned how to knit and I have learned how to purl. I have some stitch marker how-to videos that I'm posting as I've learned how to make some of those, and I have a whole case of those that I can take with me and I don't have to buy or ship any of those to myself later. And so that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I've put all my social media links below. You can pretty much find me anywhere on any platform under Alpaca My Yarn. So thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing your suggestions and continuing to watch your podcasts. If you think of anything that I should absolutely not leave the country without, please post those below because I'll need to make sure to pack those in my knitting bag. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.